Alright, part 2 of our in-depth
Part 2 of Secret Window in-depth horror
breakdown of the
discussion review.
scenes.
Alright, so we left off with the hick, and he's like telling him...
His first confrontation with Shooter.
Yeah, so he's telling
out
Johnny
on the
Depp,
lake.
he's just like, no, he's like, am I supposed to go down to Riverdale, New
The
York?
second time he talks to him.
He's like, and get the magazine from your house, and he's just like, I read it on your book jacket. Because freaking
like,
Johnny Depp's looking at him like, what the, how you know about my house?
He's
it's
like,
hilarious.
no, I'm in the middle of a divorce, you ignorant hick.
It's like one of the best lines ever. Yeah, he's like, I'm in the middle of a divorce, D-I-V. You know, it's freaking hilarious lines. Funny lines.
No, then it's like a mini action scene,
Oh,
as
yeah,
we
where
were
he
going to
throws
say,
him,
in the
he
middle
throws
there.
him in the free. No, he grabs him and he's like, you lie.
And Johnny Depp's like, no, I don't.
He's like, all right, well, if there is such a magazine, he's like, I'll give you 3. No, he turns around and he gets his smokes, and he's like, hold your water, I'm just getting my smokes. That's what he said. Nah, just gets his Pall Malls. And then he's freaking,
It's like a soft
so
pack.
he's like, I'll give you 3 days.
It's like a soft pack with only his Lucky left.
He's like, if there is such a magazine.
And he offers one more.
He's like, if I give you the magazine, Johnny Depp's like, if I give you the magazine, will you just go away? And he's like,
If they...
and he just freaking shakes his head, and he's like, 3 days. And then freaking take it away.
That's when they cut back to his cabin shots. And it's like a shot of his faucet.
Oh yeah, because he's got
He's playing with his dog.
Because he's got to
His
call
blind
Amy.
dog, Chico.
Yeah, he's sitting there at the table, and he's got like an opened up.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
He's got, like,
So
an
he
opened
was
up.
threatened by him. No, he's like, if this fight continues, then one of us' lives is going to have to end. But he doesn't mention that to anyone else in the rest of the movie. But he does say that he does actually threaten his life.
Oh yeah.
So he doesn't want to call Amy because he hates that bitch.
He's like,
She's
if
a
one of us
money-grubbing
dies,
hoe.
it won't be until in the fight. And he's like, it won't be till the end until one of us dies.
So he just procrastinates, puts it off. He's got writer's block up the butt, so he just goes to bed after he plays with Chico. And he has a water cliff nightmare. His second nightmare of the movie.
No, he's like, I don't want to call her. All right, so he gets back home. He's like, I don't want to call her.
No,
Places
if this movie was shot in the 90s, this freaking scene would go on forever. But it was actually a mini one.
No,
so
he
they
goes
kept
back.
it
Yeah,
short.
so he goes back to take a nap, and he's like, sloth. And he's just like, I don't want to call her.
It
Anyway.
would have been 90s filler forever.
So he
They
goes to
would
his
film,
dream.
like,
Yeah, he goes to
everything.
his dream, and freaking, he's looking down into the ocean. Yeah, dude, if it was the 90s, they would have had that dream
He's
going for
having
10
nightmares,
minutes.
everyone.
Anyways, so he wakes up. He plugs on the phone, right?
This is when he finds his dead dog outside.
No, he doesn't plug on the phone. Yeah, he wakes up, goes outside, and he sees the freaking front porch. The
No,
light,
it's like
the
filler.
door's open,
It's like filler suspense forever.
He
and
looks up at
finally
the light.
finds him.
and it's freaking broken.
It's total like.
He goes around the corner and he sees
puppet.
he sees the freaking paper nailed to the wall, and it's like to side his house, and it's like 3 days, no police. I'm not joking.
Oh, then he does some awesome shots when he buries his dog, and it's like a pink sunrise the next morning.
He whips up the sheet, and it's his dog with the freaking screwdriver through it, and he's like, "Oh, Shooter!" He's like, "I'll get you for this, Shooter!" It's freaking hilarious. Alright, so yeah,
So
so
they
then
cut
it's
to
the sunrise, yeah, and he's burying his dog, and it's like the pink background, the
And
clouds, it's
and he
awesome.
goes to the
With
old
the freaking,
sheriff
with the
character.
freaking lake and the freaking, it's dope with the freaking,
I guess this character, the
the
old
pine trees.
sheriff in the town, he goes to report the incident.
yeah, so it cuts to him going to freaking town, going
I
to the
guess
police
this guy
station.
played Sweeney Todd just like Johnny Depp.
Oh yeah, so the old sheriff, yeah, is the actual guy who played the original Sweeney Todd. It's pretty tight. Anyways, no.
According
So
to Wicca.
freaking he's in there and he's like, Johnny Depp's like, yeah, so what I got is a detailed description of him, the car, and then freaking the cop cuts him off and he talks to like his freaking secretary and he's like, type a little harder, you gotta get through the carbon.
And the sheriff's so old, he's doing needlepoint. He's like, it helps the arthritis.
Yeah, he's like, he put a screwdriver, no, he's like, yeah, he killed my dog, and he's like, killing a dog. He's like, that's not like killing a man. I'm not sure if it's a crime.
Oh yeah, then
No,
so
Johnny
he goes
Depp-
on
Johnny
to
Depp's like-
describe him.
Johnny Depp's like, oh come on, what about animal cruelty? And then the cop's like, yeah, maybe.
Or destruction of private
And then he
property.
goes out with needlepoint.
No, then Johnny Depp goes on to describe him more, and he's like, so you got yourself a member of the Crazy Folks Club, huh? It's like,
Oh yeah, so he's
they're-
like,
it's
so you
like
got
David
yourself-
Cope thinking of like what an old geezer
Johnny
would
Depp's going
say.
through his whole, pouring
And he,
his heart
like,
out,
says
trying
some
to tell the
old
description
wisdom,
of the guy.
old-timer wisdom.
And the cap's just like, so you got a
It is a
member of
hardcore
Crazy
American
Folks.
old guy saying.
Wow.
I guess he's in Maine.
So anyway, so then freaking, the cap's freaking, so he's like, what I'm gonna need is a description. And then Johnny Depp's like, what the, I already told you all that. But so then it cuts to him going to New York or going to the house, right?
No, he drives to meet the security guy. They're like, okay,
Yeah,
so the casting directors were just looking to put a black guy in this movie, and this is where
No,
they
this
fit
is
it
like
in.
no,
And make
he's
it-
like a cop. He's like a cop, but he's
No,
like
he's a private security guy. He's like, basically, you know, he runs his own security firm
okay,
for
okay.
like high profile.
Well, then he's
people.
got balls.
And they're like, all right, let's get a black guy. They're like, what big one can we get?
Quentin.
Get Charles S. Dutton or the guy with the lazy eye from Panic Room or something.
Or Darnell Weeks or
Or
something.
Forrest Whitaker.
All right, let's see here. So then he's talking to him. No, and he's like, so what happened with you and Amy? He's like, did you freaking go to one of your? He's like, did you finally nail one of your groupies at one of your book signings?
At the Omaha Barnes and Noble.
The Omaha Barnes and Nobles.
I'm sorry.
And
That was a dick thing to say.
He's like, that was a dick thing to say, man. I'm sorry. You were saying, and he clicks the freaking chess thing, the timer, like they're both going with an argument. It's hilarious. Playing chess, it's freaking hilarious.
Yeah. So anyway, so he drives on to Amy's house, and that's when he does the stupid emotional flashback, and he's like, "It's not my beautiful wife." And like Ted.
This is not
and like
my beautiful
his
house.
wife is like going on a date with Ted.
It was his house, dude. He bought that shit.
And he does flashbacks where he's like shaving.
Oh yeah, it goes to the flashback
No
where he's
comment.
like, yeah, he's like, some guys are 2, some guys are 3. I happen to be 3. And she's like, I gotta go to work. Nah, it's freaking retarded flashback.
So yeah, it's basically
Anyways.
when he had the chance to burn down the house, for the record. If you've already
Anyways,
seen
so then I guess he couldn't find the magazine because then he comes back. It shows that it cuts from that to him showing up at his house at night.
Yeah, and that's when they do the first jump scare of the freaking movie.
Yeah, because the black guy is at his house, parked there, sleeping up against the glass in the car, and you actually think he's dead. You're like, oh, you don't know, because it's a good jump scare. It's the first one in the movie. And then
Of course, they had to do a jump scare.
and then he taps at the window. He wakes up, and Johnny Depp's like, "You scared the shit out of me."
Yeah, he checks. So then, what's his name?
The black
token
guy's like,
black
yeah, I
guy
guess-
checks for monsters.
He's like, "I guess these weeks finally caught up to me."
And that's when he tells him, and then he's just like, did anyone see you cracker that's harassing you? And he's like, Tom Greenleaf.
Tom Greenleaf saw him. Boom, boom, and
And
he
he
goes
does
to
like a
flashback.
flash. That stupid one where he's honking the horn. And he's just like, once I find Shooter, I'll stop by for a freak me out chat, Use the word we a lot. What's the line?
We know what you're doing. We want you to stop. We're watching you. Freaking.
He's like, alright. So then they
He's like,
make up a
we'll
meeting
push him
to
real
like
hard.
go and talk to Tom Greenleaf tomorrow.
He's like, where do you find Tom Greenleaf? He's like, he's always at freaking Stivers getting drunk.
9 a.m. sharp.
He's like,
every
alright,
morning.
I'll meet up with them. He's like, bring your 6-gun, Pilgrim.
So anyway, the black guy stays at his security guard stays at the same hotel, the same motel, the desolate one,
Oh yeah, this is pretty tight because the way
where
he
his
does the
wife
story.
was cheating on him.
Yeah, he's like,
And he does a
where
mini
you staying?
flashback
He's
of
like, where you
that.
staying tonight? And he's like, up by Route 9, motel called blah blah, and then it cuts back to him. He's like, do you know the place? And it cuts to his like head, because if someone told you that and that happened, you'd have an instant flashback of it. It's pretty tight the way they shot this movie, with this camera, with everything, the flashback and the camera angles going through the window and everything. It's gorgeous. All right, so anyways, yeah,
Alright, this
flashback
is
to
the
him.
scene for where there was the most filler up the butt.
Filler, huh? Go on, tell us about it.
Yeah, you heard me, Elman. No, when he starts hearing noises because he's scared that night.
Oh
and
yeah,
he
this
grabs
is
the
hardcore
pitchfork.
filler. Yeah, so then yeah, so
You
the
know
black
nothing's
guy,
gonna happen
No,
in the
the
middle
black
of the
guy's
movie.
driving out and he's hearing the noises and he's looking out the window. He's like, oh fuck, he's leaving. Oh, and he's like,
He
all right.
slowly goes
So he goes
upstairs
upstairs
to the
with-
bathroom, and it's like more filler, like
he-
totally nothing happened.
And he hits the mirror and he's like, wow. He's like, I killed my mirror. And then
No,
this
he's
is the part where like,
no, he hears something in the bathroom, and he's like, "I know you're in there, shithead."
oh yeah, he's going in the bath. Well, no, it's not even that first because that's all was leading up to that because he first goes.
No,
in
that's
there.
what he says. Then he
No,
goes in there
he
and
goes in the other
starts
room and
swinging.
he sees the guy.
He's
he
like,
sees the freaking
he's
coat
just like,
hanging. He sees the coat.
"You don't come
hanging.
out in 5 seconds. I'm gonna come in there swinging."
Wow, he stole my line, guys. All right, so freaking he
wish.
comes in. He breaks the mirror and
You're
freaking.
probably gonna forget that whole line. What are you talking
Wow.
about, Mr. P?
All right, so this is the part though. No, when he's like, I killed the mirror. This is the part where all the 16-year-olds in the theater laugh.
Oh yeah.
And then he busts the shower door, and he's like, "And my shower door."
Yeah, that was put in there specifically for
16-year-olds to laugh. All right, so anyways, so then he takes, so then he sees a mouse that's inside the freaking in the tub, and he wraps it up to take it out.
The young kids.
Yeah, that part's hilarious when he's like, "I know you're in there, shithead."
No, then it's the freaking like animal controlled like pet mouse.
Yeah, so he goes out to freaking let go of the mouse. No, but before he goes out, he he's upstairs and he goes by the pack of smokes. He freaking looks at it. And he only gets one left, and it's like the one that's it's like the one where half the tobacco's all the way out, and it's completely
just lucky.
When you light it up, it's just gonna completely flame halfway.
And it's a soft pack, so it was like smashed up his Johnny Depp hole. Yeah, like sleeping on it.
Alright, so he goes downstairs, but then freaking the camera stays up there upstairs, and then he comes back upstairs to come back and get it, and he's like, "I'm gonna smoke. I'm totally gonna smoke.
I'm gonna buy another one. I'm gonna smoke the shit out of that."
And you're like, "Wow, Johnny Depp. Yeah, he's got balls." Alright, so freaking.
Then he sparks the match after he goes outside. He
lets the mouse out, starts the match, lights it.
The
first hit, and then the freaking Hick shows up, and he's like, "Thought you didn't smoke."
I took it up recently for my health.
That part's hilarious. That's like the funniest line for like that situation. He's like, "I took it up recently for my health." Like, okay.
No, so then Shooter's talking to him about stealing his story, and he wants proof of the magazine. Bunch of hardcore John Turturro acting. And he's just like, that's when he tells him the story. You got the lines where he's just like, "I want you to." He's like, "If it is your story, what do you want me to do with it?"
He's like, "How you doing, Mr. Rainey?" He's like, "Oh, I'm just peachy." And then freaking he's like, "Stealing the story from another man has never really bothered you, but getting caught up on it, though, that's bothering you."
And he's just like, "Even if I stole your story, what do you want me to do with it?" And he's just like, "I want you to fix it."
He's like, "I guess successful writers like you throw tantrums from time to time when things don't go the way they expect."
And he's just like, "Fix it." He's like, "The ending. Mine was perfect."
He's like, "I don't know what's worse.
This line,
stealing my story or ruining the ending." And then he's freaking like,
he's just like, "I don't even think I've read your whole story." Johnny Depp.
No, yeah, that's part serious. "I don't even think I read your whole story." And he's like, "I bet you did." And he's like,
and then he starts quoting the ending of his story, and he's like, "I'm sure."
And he's like, I know I could do it." Tied down, he said. Helping himself from another ear of corn from the steaming bowl.
Even though the theme's
sure
not playing, this is dope.
His death will be a mystery, even to me. Her death will be a mystery, even to me. But I mean, that's one of the dopest part, because it's like it's all the eeriness, freaking with the music playing, freaking the tension between the two characters, and
he's like, "You're gonna write it." He's like, "You're gonna write it, and it's gonna have my name on it."
He's like, "You're going to get it published. You're going to write it. It's going to have my name on it."
And that's when they do he shoves him up on the tree with the shovel, choking him.
Yeah, because, Johnny Depp was going to grab it.
You don't want to wake up from one of your stupid naps and find...
He's like, "You want to wake up from one of your stupid naps and find Amy's nailed to the freaking, to the garbage bin?" He's like, "Or freaking find her dead from one of the chainsaws you keep out in the shed?" And he's like, "I got a divorce. You can kill her."
No. That's what I'm thinking when I watch it.
He's like, "I kill her in scene 34.
That's what everyone's thinking when they watch it. Right. So then it's the next day. Cuts to the next day, and he's like eating Doritos.
No. He's like, "Yeah, that's how the ending."
It's like a shot of the boat on the lake.
No, when he's talking about the story, though, he's like, "That's how the story ends, Pilgrim. It's the only ending." And it's freaking dope,
Wow, of course you were classic. A minute late to get that quote out from that scene.
Wow.
No, so... Alright, let's go to frickin' part 3.
Yeah, we'll cut to part 3.
Secret Window, 2004.
Secret Window, part 3.
Talk about when he wakes up the next day.